Last month, I made the fresh July video just a little too early. Only a day after it was released, we received a big shipment of new product. Now, before we go dive in, remember to check the Fresh 50 on the left side of the website. We're always getting new stuff in, but I'll highlight the hottest items in these videos. We begin with something everyone should have in their kit, some good old silicone oil. This is Prospray Silicone and it's designed not to harm O-rings. Now I'll be upfront and say it's not anything special compared to the silicone oil we've been carrying for years, but there are two main differences. Firstly, obviously it's a spray soft. It comes with a handy straw applicator, which is good to get oil deep within your gun's trigger mechanism. Secondly, it's quite a bit thinner weight than our thicker standard silicone oil. In general, a thicker oil is better for high friction areas, whereas a lower weight oil is better for O-rings. Now, personally, I do prefer grease for high friction areas, so these two would be my preferred combo. Check out our pistol maintenance guide video for a full tutorial. If you like to run melee weapons, check out these tomahawks as well as machetes. They also make great props for maybe a jungle or a post-apocalyptic loadout. Now, these have a realistic size to them and have a pretty decent weight to them as well. Obviously, it has a blunt rubber blade, but still, don't go waving one around like a madman. The tomahawk comes with a MOLLE strap, whereas the machete comes with a full MOLLE sheath. This little guy I've been looking forward to for quite some time. It's the X-Cortec XT301 pistol tracer. Traditionally, tracers have been a little too heavy to mount onto pistols, but this one has a small little built-in LiPo battery. It comes in at only 44 grams and is about a third the length of a standard tracer. It also makes the perfect tracer for a shorter CQB rifle. Despite its smaller size, performance is still excellent. It has two bright strobe lights that lights up the BB and can handle up to 35 rounds per second. It charges through a micro USB cable and can handle 20,000 shots before you need to charge it. There is one button for the interface, but it's surprisingly complex. If you follow the flowchart, there are 4 different brightness options as well as 3 status modes. The default status mode is actually pretty useful. If you turn it on and it isn't triggered in 2 minutes, it'll go into power saving mode. Simply fire off a shot to power it up again. You're given 2 different mounting options. If your barrel is internally threaded like most WE pistols, it'll slot right in. It's an 11mm clockwise thread. If not, it comes with an adapter for 14mm counterclockwise for everything else. If you're getting into custom pistols, building a high kappa is almost a rite of passage. You guys asked for it, so we got them in high-end high kappa parts. For those who haven't put together a kappa before, you probably shouldn't look at the prices. The outer barrel alone is worth almost as much as a full pistol. But for some people, only the best will do, and Airsoft Masterpiece has developed a very good reputation. Now, some parts are definitely a little more show than go, but for someone looking for consistent double taps, I definitely look into trigger parts first. Parts like the sear spring and steel trigger ring will give you a more consistent break and reset, while an adjustable trigger takes out the take-up or the slack in the trigger. If you're willing to spend, the Masterpiece slide sets and aluminum grips are truly very, very nice. And rest assured, there won't be too many of those on the field. One thing to remember when putting together any custom pistol is don't expect the parts to fit in perfectly on the first try. Even real guns require a lot of careful fitting. Take your time with it and do as much research as possible. I promise you it'll be worth it. If you haven't gotten yourself a Jag Arm shotgun yet, and you love Keymod, maybe it's a good thing you waited. We got the SPX as well as the SPX2. We reviewed the Jag Arm shotguns last year, and they are really fun to shoot. Gas powered, 3 or 6 shots per trigger pull. Airsoft shotguns don't really get better than that. The full Keymod pump is certainly a unique look, but my favorite part is the pistol grip as well as the low profile stock. This is the Tan SPX2, which is based on the TS model, whereas the longer SPX is based on the SP model. Last but certainly not least, we finally got in the ASG Scorpion Evo BET carbines. Now, these came out last year, but were really hard to get our hands on. The Scorpion Evos have proven to be really good AEGs out of the box with really good internals and a really responsive microswitch trigger. They also stop shooting when your magazine runs dry and you have to release the bolt in order to resume firing. It's a nice realistic touch. Compared to the older non-carbine version, this one does have the M-LOK carbine rail along with the longer inner barrel as well as that suppressor. Speaking of that suppressor, unfortunately it does have an orange tip, and also it's clockwise threaded. Despite the longer front end, battery storage is still quite small, but it should be enough room for a LiPo. Despite being made of polymer, it is one of those guns that does polymer well, and there are no creaks at all in the body. It's still really lightweight though, and would make an excellent milsim gun. If you're looking for a high-end AEG that's a little bit different, swing by and check one out. Alright, that's what's new for August 2018. Enjoy your summer while it's still here. Back to school season has already begun. As always, thanks for watching, subscribe if you like our content, and we'll catch you on the next one.